Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I have a vegan stew with dumplings recipe. So all of the ingredients will be listed below with the measurements that you need. So first add the flour into the bowl, followed by the baking powder. And then the vegan butter. I'd never used this one before, but it worked really well. So then you need to rub the butter into the flour with your hands until it resembles breadcrumbs. Excuse my dressing gown. Tier 4, living indoors. So then you add the vegetable suet. And mix that all around to combine. And then you need to combine the soy milk, or whatever non-dairy milk you have, with a flax egg. And then combine the two, but use a knife to mix it together. This should take a few minutes to properly combine. So once you get a dough consistency, you can stop. And once it's done, you can set it aside with a tea towel over the bowl. So next we have the stew recipe. So first I chopped up an onion. And then a stick of celery. And then I had these really small carrots, but I would say they probably are the equivalent of 2 medium-sized carrots. But none of these measurements are very exact, because I was just using what I had left over. And then I chopped up a green chilli. I left the seeds in because we don't really mind heat that much, but if you're sensitive to spice, then I would de-seed the chilli or just leave out the chilli altogether. So first you're going to heat up some oil, and then once that's hot, add the onion, the celery and the carrot to the mixture, not the chilli. The chilli is going to be added a few minutes after the rest, because you need to let the rest of it cook before you add the chilli into the mix. Once it starts to go a bit brown. And while that was cooking, I decided to chop up all my other veg. So I chopped up a green pepper, but whatever colour pepper would work. And then I quartered about half a punnet of mushrooms. So I think that's about 150 grams. So once your onion, celery and carrot is kind of browned, like the bottom of the pan is browning, you can add some vegetable stock. But be careful because the steam might burn you. And then mix that all around to deglaze the bottom of the pan. And then you can add your mushrooms and your pepper. So give that a stir. And then put a lid on and reduce the heat so that it just simmers. And so while that's simmering away, you can start cooking your sausages. So either in the oven or in the pan, depending on what sausages you're using. I would recommend these. They weren't the most amazing sausages I'd ever had, but they were pretty decent. and they definitely went well with all the other flavours in there. So once that's been simmering for a few minutes, I added 2 tablespoons of tomato puree and gave that a mix. And then after that was cooking for a few more minutes, I decided to add a tin of chopped tomatoes and some leftover broccoli that we had from the other day. And then to thicken the mixture, I added a cornstarch slurry, so that's a tablespoon of cornstarch or cornflour and then 2 tablespoons of water, because it needs to be a little bit thicker for the dumplings to float properly on the top. So then once the sausages were done, I cut them into 4 pieces, so there were 16 pieces in total. And then I gave that a stir to combine everything. Then it's time to add the dumplings to the top. So there's enough mixture to make about 9 large dumplings, but I only had space for 8, so I had a bit left over. As you can see, I'm kind of wetting my spoon in the stew so that when you spoon out the dumpling mixture, it doesn't stick to your spoon. And then you add a lid and reduce the heat so that it goes down to a simmer, and it should take about half an hour for the dumplings to cook. I would say this makes around 4 decent sized portions or 3 pretty large ones. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you try the recipe yourself.